In the hearts of West Africa, nestled within the vibrant lands of Ajani Plains, there existed a small village called Ikanla, where a little boy Winsor lived. He was known for his sharp mind and creativity. Winsor could fix broken tools, find water during dry seasons, and even predict the weather by observing the skies. Everyone in the village admired him, but there was one thing Winsor struggled with. He couldn't speak English fluently. One day, government officials arrived from the city. They stood in the village square and made a grand announcement. "We are looking for the smartest child in this region," one of them declared. "The winner will receive a scholarship to study in the city." The villagers were excited. Parents pushed their children forward, urging them to participate. Windsor's friends encouraged him, but he hesitated. "I'm not good at English," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Winsor, you're the smartest person we know," his best friend Rosemary replied. "You have to try." With his heart pounding, Winsor agreed. The competition day arrived, and children from nearby villages gathered under the ancient baobab tree. The officials began asking questions, in English. "What is the capital of Nigeria?" one official asked. Winsor knew the answer was Abuja, but when he tried to say it in English, his words came out clumsy. "Abu, Abu," he stammered. The crowd burst into laughter. Another boy answered confidently, "Abuja," with perfect pronunciation. The officials nodded in approval, ignoring Windsor's effort. The questions continued. Winsor understood them all but struggled to answer in English. His frustration grew with every mistake. By the end of the contest, he had lost. A boy who spoke fluent English but couldn't explain how a farm works won the prize. That evening, Winsor ran to the river and sat on its banks, his head in his hands. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "I am useless," he muttered to himself. "They think I'm stupid because I can't speak English." His grandmother, Mama Kate, found him there. She sat beside him in silence for a moment before speaking. "Winsor, do you know the language of the wind?" she asked gently. "The wind doesn't speak, Mama," Winsor replied, confused. "But you understand it," she said. "You know when a storm is coming. You know when the rains are near. That is intelligence, my child. English is just one language, not a measure of your wisdom." Her words stayed with Winsor, but the shame lingered. 2 weeks later, disaster struck the village. The only well in the village broke, and the people had no water for days. The officials from the city promised to send help, but days passed, weeks passed, and nothing happened. The villagers gathered close to the well, desperate and afraid, trying to figure out how to end the disaster. Winsor, remembering the lessons his father had taught him years ago, stood up. "I think I can find water," he said. The elders were skeptical, but they had no other choice but have faith. With the help of his friends, Winsor began digging near the river. He used the knowledge passed down from his ancestors, observing the soil and the flow of the land, trying to figure out where exactly to dig. Winsor and his friends kept digging for days. On the 4th day, water gushed from the ground. The villagers shouted with joy as their fear soon turned into celebration. The little boy who once believed he is an illiterate and of no use became the Messiah who saved his village from disaster. When the officials finally returned and saw what Winsor had done, they were astonished. "How did you know where to dig?" one of them asked. Winsor replied in his native Yoruba, his voice steady and proud, "Moko eko lati odo awon baba mi." The official frowned, not understanding what Winsor had said. "Speak in English," he demanded. Winsor took a deep breath and said in broken English, "I learn from my people. I know my land." The villagers clapped and cheered for Winsor, their pride in him shining brighter than ever. From that day, the villagers learned an important truth. Intelligence is not tied to speaking English. It is found in knowledge, creativity, and the ability to solve problems within and around us. And Winsor? He became a legend, not because he spoke perfect English, but because he reminded his people of their own greatness. Moral of the story: Never let a language define your intelligence. True wisdom is in understanding, solving problems, and valuing what makes you unique. For more incredible stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.